We're back. We had a week break because
Izzy had a hand
injury. Last week was such a mess.
Last week was a mess. But we also had a really, really exciting thing happen on Monday, which we can't wait to share with you guys soon. I don't know what we can even say about it.
I think we could say we had a really fun filming day with an amazing organisation that are doing really fun campaigns to help people do better with their fashion choices.
Yeah. So that's going to be coming out soon. So keep an eye out for it. It's going to be the podcast's first, presenting debut.
I know, and I feel like we were so silly.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, people are going to see me.
I'm sorry, wait.
People are going to see me. You are not ready for this outfit that Izzy put me in. It's, atrocious.
It was, I chose it. I'd like to just, I need people to know that I wanted it to be bad. I didn't make it with the idea of it being good.
Yeah. But it's so funny because I deeped that people are going to actually look at me dressed like that. And I was like, oh God.
Well, you had a moment when you were like, actually, I really like this. And we all looked at you like, what is wrong with you? But yeah, no, it was, that outfit is so bad.
So bad. So guys, wait, because it's going to be crazy when you see it. And talking about crazy, this week we're talking about dupes. Which is such a weird word to me. Counterfeits.
Counterfeit goods.
Knockoffs.
The world of fakes.
Yeah, the world of fakes.
Because it's definitely been I feel like it's had viral moments this year.
Yeah. There was the Walmart Birkin at the end of last year, beginning of this year.
Yeah. And there's just been a lot of chat around fakes and counterfeit goods and stuff like that. And I think it goes hand in hand with recession.
Oh, yeah, you're so right. People can't afford the authentic, but they still want to have the experience.
Yeah.
Would you ever buy, or have you ever bought a counterfeit good?
Okay, so age 13, I feel like, I don't know if the context for this, basically the school I went to, there were some really wealthy people, and there were people with designer bags in their teenage years, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And at 15 you want to fit in with everyone else, and I really wanted to fit in, and my mum was like, what the hell, that's so stupid, that's so irresponsible. Parents, that's really not teaching them the value of money or hard work, loads of things.
I completely agree with that.
And at the time I was really annoyed because I just wanted to fit in because I was already getting bullied, long story. Anyway, She went to a charity shop and she found a fake Louis Vuitton bag which looked really good quality. Oh, it was £2.
Wow.
It was honestly, I could not tell the difference. I was convinced it was real, and at this point I had already
Did someone tell you it was fake at school?
No, so I didn't ever take it to school.
Okay.
But when she showed it to me, I was literally jumping up and down with excitement. She was like, oh, I found this for you in the charity shop, I know it's fake, it's only it was £2, but I know you really wanted to
get involved.
Get involved, fit in and feel but she was like, I don't think it's right for you to have one, don't have the money, two, it's stupid, all the reasons.
Yeah, what are you going to do with...
Yeah. And to this day, I kind of regret not keeping it.
Oh, I love that you had that.
And the quality was, surprisingly really good. The only way that I could tell it wasn't real was the natural leather never changed colour.
Okay.
So it was obviously plastic, but the actual canvas, it was a Louis Vuitton dupe. So funnily enough, it's the same collection that I really like now, the cherry collection. But it wasn't the cherries, but
Murakami.
It was a Murakami collection, which I just thought was funny. It was just as
that's
an
a really
adult
nice
saving
full
up,
circle moment.
getting able to save up now, and
But that shows that your mum's lesson actually worked because you had you've now saved up, had the process of, learning the value of money, doing your hard work and having that amazing moment where you're wow, okay, I've worked hard enough, I've saved, and I can actually get this bag.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously I got the bag second hand as well. Would never.
Yeah.
But it was just I don't know. I'm really grateful that my mum was quite strict because that environment, being around people who had so much at such a young age, and now they can they afford those things themselves because they didn't understand hard work or the importance, or like also the stupidity of being a teenager with those levels of items. I don't know.
I think when you're just given stuff like that, it gives you a completely distorted idea of the world, and it means like you don't really have any.
People are struggling to like have food on their table, and you're walking around with like a $2,000.
Yeah,
But,
at like 14 or 15.
It's ridiculous. It's really like, it's so icky to me. So I'm really like, I'm glad that she was really strict about that and was very much like, no, like, not that she would ever be like, we wouldn't have been able to afford it, but like,
yeah. But the lesson was there.
The lesson was there, and I'm really grateful because I think it's an important lesson. It's also an important lesson in, you know, like being a teenager and realising that fitting in is not necessarily the be all end all.
And also like being a teenager is not being an adult. Like just,
No.
I think when you're in your teens, you kind of are really trying to emulate 30-year-old women.
Yeah, like 13 going on to 30 is so accurate.
It's like, you don't need a designer bag when you're a teenager. What are you going to do with it? Like,
you're going to get mugged on the street.
yeah.
I don't even know.
And also, like, I don't know, I just feel like all of the reasons why you'd need, like, thinking about myself when I was a teenager, I would not have looked after that properly.
No.
Like, at all. Even if I thought I was looking after it, I wouldn't have, like, properly, you know.
I remember this one girl came to my house with it's actually like embarrassing to like talk about it. She came to my house 15 or 14 with her overnight bag for a sleepover was a Louis Vuitton Keepall. That was her mum's.
Crazy.
And I was just like, you can imagine like,
I had a Matalan floral overnight bag.
like, I feel like I just had like some random canvas tote bag or something.
Yeah, I remember it was the thing when I was about like 13, 14 when we first started going to sleepovers. You had to have like the Primark pyjama set with like the really short,
Pretty short.
And then you'd have like the Matalan like sort of whole wool bag.
But I think that's what you should be doing as a teenager.
Yeah.
Okay, minus the Primark and brand, whatever.
Yeah,
but
like it's just sort of
not a Louis Vuitton keep. Like, what's wrong with people? Yeah. And also, like,
they're heavy as well, by the way.
Yeah, they are heavy. But also, like, imagine how that makes other children feel.
Yeah.
And, like, it's almost like a...
You know what? Not even children, adults.
Adults.
Imagine being an adult and having a child come over to your house for a sleepover and they arrive with a bag that costs more than, like, your car.
My mum was like... My mum was like...
I'd be like, oh, it's
What?
like beans and mashed and potatoes for dinner. Like, is that okay?
This was also the same girl who my stepdad made her eat chicken's feet, also at 15.
No, I love that.
But I honestly got bullied for that at school, so I never had any of it. That and the bloody chicken's feet in the Louis Vuitton Keepall.
Could be the name of like a weird book. Chicken's feet and the Louis Vuitton Keepall. I love
just
it.
feel like, yeah, school was a weird time. I think that's not the time. Like, I'm glad my mum bought me that £2 dupe at a charity shop. Also, okay, what are your thoughts when you see a dupe at a charity shop?
Oh, I have very strong feelings.
Okay, do you know how I know this? When we were doing the filming last week, and there was that fake Birkin style bag, and I was like, oh, I want to style it, and Rosie was like, you cannot. You were like, no. You cannot.
To be fair to them, though, it wasn't like being passed off as real. I feel like it takes a lot to pass off a Birkin bag, but it really bothers me. I actually spoke to someone like a few when I've been going to charity shops recently. I've been speaking to the managers and asking them how they get their luxury goods authenticated. It's really like getting under my skin.
Yeah,
lately.
Rosie's talked about this.
It's
so
like really bothering me. It's a real bee in my bonnet. I don't know why I suddenly decided to care so much about this.
No, I think it's been brewing.
Slowly.
I think it started when Oriana got that fake Mulberry bag, and Mulberry were like, "We cannot repair this. This is fake." And you were like,
because Oriana, a friend of the pod,
what queen?
Bought a Mulberry bag in a charity shop that she was told, like, quite vehemently, is that the word?
Yeah,
that was real.
I think, as far as I remember, it was like in the glass case. She was really excited because it was like it was such a her bag. Like, had loads of buckles. Like, she loves a little detail on a bag. And
I can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't cheap.
It was 50, which is a lot of money for a bag in a charity shop if it's not authenticated.
Yeah, and so she bought it thinking, well, you know, you don't even really think about it. You just assume if it's in a glass box and they're telling you it's real, like, yeah. She took it to the Mulberry shop and they were like, oh, this is fake. And so she couldn't get it repaired by them, and she was stuck with like a £50 fake bag. And it's since then definitely that it's been brewing for me, because charity shops it takes a lot to authenticate stuff. Like, it's not like a super... I wouldn't know how to authenticate a lot of things. And why would you trust, like, a random... sorry...
But then also, to be fair, I will say, when I saw that on her stories, I knew it was fake.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to tell... Like, when I saw it in the charity shop, which took a picture, I was like, that's not a real Mulberry bag.
I guess because you're a Mulberry enthusiast.
But I'm also, like, I spent the ages of 15, like, I was already interested in designer goods, just... I suppose because I saw something. I
guess it depends, like, if you have, like, brands that you know well, like, there's certain brands I can spot more easily whether it's fake or real, things that I know how to check.
Yeah.
And then there's things that I just, like, wouldn't really know.
Yeah.
But I just think it's bad because I think it's unfair on management and staff to expect them to be able to authenticate luxury goods. Why would they know how?
Exactly.
I think it's really unethical to be selling them at such high prices to people without proper, you know, formalities being done.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, like, weird that it's being socially accepted.
Well, I actually, talking Mulberry, I remember at college, I saw a Mulberry bag in a charity shop.
Yeah.
It was, like, a really cool electric blue. It was, like, right up my street. And it was £100. And I was like, ooh, okay. Like, I looked at it. It was so blatantly a fake. And they were still selling it for £100.
God.
I just think it's unethical because if we go back to the point of a charity shop, it's obviously to provide clothes, to provide good quality clothes to those who might not be able to afford.
Yeah, we say that, but I've heard a few people recently saying that's actually not the point of the charity shop, it's to raise money for the charities.
Well, it's a bit of both.
Yeah, and I agree that should be, I agree with you, but then I've heard a few charity, like, places being like, actually, that's not the point. The point is for us to be raising as much money as we can for the charities that we're about.
I think it's providing clothes for people while raising money for the charity.
It's like
it should be a
supporting
two-in-one.
people from underprivileged backgrounds and also raising money. Yeah,
I think it's a bit of both. Like, I don't think because otherwise they can start... Or otherwise they are just selling counterfeit goods at extortionate prices to raise money.
Goods. And that really bothers me.
If you're a charity shop manager, please, like, comment to let us know how you authenticate designer goods, because we genuinely want to understand and know how you price them as well.
Because I was in a charity shop in Marylebone and I popped in, they had, like, a £750 Dior coat. And I was like, cute. £750, you say?
That's like my rent. That's literally your rent.
That's so funny. And so I, like, sauntered up to the manager. I was like, so how's that authenticated? Have you got that authenticated? And he was like, we get all of our things authenticated. And I was like, that's amazing. Where do you get them authenticated? And he was like, we send them to Selfridges to get them authenticated.
Fair
because
enough.
It's just up the road.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, so cool. Then he was like, yeah, I don't want to say the name of the charity. He was like, yeah, all of our charity shops always get our luxury goods checked. I know that to be, like, absolutely untrue. Absolutely untrue, because I've been into other branches of that exact same charity and asked the same exact question, and they say that they don't, and then it's up to, like, the manager or whatever to do it. And then so then I asked about that jacket, and then he went on to say that actually that jacket hadn't been authenticated in Selfridges because they have, like, certain people who donate more stuff, and, like, when someone donates a certain amount of designer items, they just, like, trust them and they get, like, a good rapport with, like, the person who's donating them, so, like, they just wouldn't really, like, bring in a fake.
Intense blinking. Yeah. With no words. It's so unethical. Also, this sounds, like, really weird. If you're donating £750 coat to a charity shop, who's going into the charity shop to buy the £750 coat? Because people who are, like, if you're able to buy that new and donate it, you're earning a crazy amount of money. Especially in somewhere like Marylebone. Do people go to charity shops to buy that level of item? Like, I'm actually genuinely don't know, because do you know what I mean? Like, does it actually sell? Because a lot of those people, I imagine, don't like the idea of buying new because they have the money to just go to Dior or whoever and buy that garment. So who's buying that? Because it's not me and you buying it.
Yeah, I'd say, like what's your price limit in a charity shop? What's the most you'd spend? Like, if you found something, like, what is just your absolute most?
The most I spent in a charity shop was a Mulberry
bag.
No, it was a Mulberry leather jacket that was genuine, because I recently sold it.
Yeah.
At a consignment store, and that was £100, but it would have been, like, over £1,000, and it was like a buttery soft leather like, it was. I would have kept it if it wasn't black.
Yeah.
You would have actually really liked it. It was like a cargo jacket, really
nice.
like really nice. That was £100, but I bought that because I looked at it and went, "That's definitely genuine."
Yeah.
I know that the leather was really good quality, but £100 is already like way on my upper bound limit.
Yeah.
Like I think honestly, most things will have to be less than 15 quid.
Yeah, my price limit in a charity shop would be 100 as well. The most I think I spent is 90.
Oh, on
Prada boots. And again, I know those ones. Like I wouldn't have.
Yeah. It's funny, me and you are really good at authenticating different brands.
Yeah.
We have that under our belt. Yeah. We just like...
Yeah, no, it's true. And yeah, that felt like kind of crazy when I spent that much.
I don't
but
like...
Yeah, you're right though. Like who's spending
£750 in a charity shop? Like a Jenny who...
Quite honestly, if I was going to spend £750,
I would get it from consignment.
I wouldn't buy it from a charity shop when it hadn't been authenticated.
No, I would. That's why I would go.
There's no way in hell I'd do
if I'm spending that level of money, which is not obviously every day.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
You're gonna be safe. You're gonna go to like a consignment store that have used Entropy, who we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
To authenticate something.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Charity shops should start using Entropy.
I wonder how much it is.
Probably a lot, but to be fair, like
for that value item, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I think that they should, especially because I think I've noticed a big influx of designer goods in charity shops. And let me pop my finger on that.
For context, Entropy is an AI tool that's like it's actually a device that they use to take pictures of like garments, bags, etc., and it uses AI to authenticate. Basically, it like grabs images of authentic items and tries to match them with the item.
Yeah.
To authenticate stuff.
And it actually on the website I was looking at it earlier said that if it gets it wrong, you like can get money back from them.
I'm not surprised. I mean, they must have catalogued thousands of products because what they probably did was collect loads of different designer items across different ages, catalogue them all, train the AI so that people a lot of like I know a lot of consignment stores that use it actually.
I think it's quite user friendly as well.
It's literally it looks like a phone. You take a picture of it and it just like you take loads of different like angles and stuff and it goes yes no.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really it's obviously worth it if you're a small business selling these items to have that authentication service.
Yeah, I completely
agree. Because it gives your buyers like confidence that you're not spending £750 on a potential fake item.
Yeah, who's buying that? Who's buying that? So, what do you think do you think it's ethical to buy things that are fake?
What level are we talking about? Because if I'm going to like Hong Kong to visit my grandma and there's a fake like something or other bag in the market that's like £5, obviously, by the way, that's most likely to be unethically made. Which ethics are you talking about? The people who made it or like for the brand? Because for the brand, like low key, I don't think Chanel gives a shit. Like I don't think they care. Like it's not that deep. But I do care for the people who made it because there's no way I'm buying a £5 fake with someone making that ethically. Like the margins aren't there.
Yeah. When I was in Dubai, I feel like that's such like a fever dream aspect of my life. My ex was from Dubai, and so I went out to visit his family. And his dad took us to this place called Dragon Mart, I think.
What a name.
I think that's what it was called. And it's basically like the place where all of the like fakes are, like fake bags, fake watches, Apple watches.
I kind of find it iconic. Like
I was glad to go there. It was a very interesting experience.
Yeah.
But the thing that you can do there basically is like people will come and say to you like if you want like the really like good stuff, and then they'll take you into like secret little curtains back rooms and then like show you the really good fake bags that still cost like £500.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I guess it's not even fake, it's a replica. I guess it's a little different. I don't know.
There's like so when I've been like to visit my grandma, there's a lot of companies. I actually did buy counterfeit good. I bought naughty girl. I bought do you remember Stella McCartney did these really cool like wooden platform wedged loafers?
Cute.
I thought they were really cool. I was 16, had some pocket money, I think, from Chinese New Year. And there was a shop that was selling, in quote, made in the same factory.
Well, probably you are, to be honest.
are like they're not fake. They're made in the same factory. They're just, you know, out the back door. They're just, you know, like
they've been sneaked out.
and they've been sneaked out the back in the box. It was obviously a fake.
Wait, not me always falling for that marketing though. I'm always like, yeah.
Some are like, there are some actual, this is another story.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of stories on my times and travels in Hong Kong. But those were actual fakes and they weren't cheap. And so I did buy them because at 16, again, like I thought they were really, I just thought they were
Seemed
cool
like a
shoes.
good
To be honest, I would have, they were cool shoes.
Regretted doing that immediately.
They were like cool shoes either way. Like it wasn't necessarily because they were just selling Meccano. I just thought they looked really cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like at the time I didn't really care about ethics. I didn't care about the people and planet, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Like
You probably didn't even like know.
I just didn't really get it. And at this point, you know, we were buying like 2 suitcases worth of clothes every time we went. Like we were consuming really badly as a family and it was just bad. And I think it's just, the world of fakes is so extreme. You get these like really high-end ones which are still hundreds of pounds, or the ones that are like £5. Oh my god, my friend, she's currently in Hong Kong, she sent me a picture of the markets in Mongkok, which is like a really renowned, huge, like multi-street market in Hong Kong. And there was like a Chanel bag, but spelled CNAHEL.
Wait, I kind of love shit like that because I still
It's
have.
kind of iconic.
When I was in Italy, I got a pair of, I like bought loads of pants that said Klein Klein instead of Calvin Klein.
It's kind
Because I thought they
of
were funny. I was like, that's so good. And I still wear them and I still have a few pairs of them.
like it's quite funny.
Because I was like, because I didn't really think about the, you know, ethics of it all. I was just like, Klein Klein. Yeah, like, hell yeah.
I think there's this, we tried to do some research about the ethics and it's really hard because a lot of designer brands don't share their supply chain or if they pay a living wage, but a lot of the sites we were looking at, like The Real and stuff like that, who were doing like articles on fakes, kind of assumed / noted that a lot of them would be made unethically, which I'm not actually surprised. Like, that does not surprise me at all.
And a lot of them are connected to like cartels,
drugs
and things like that,
which obviously is even more, I would say, like a level up of problematic.
Because The Real did I guess almost like an installation on Canal Street in New York, which they put what looked like a real shop there.
So interesting.
But then when you went closer, it was actually fake, like not a real shop.
Oh.
And it was like meant to provoke commentary on like fake goods being sold.
Yeah.
Because Canal Street, from what I understand, is like the street, I don't know if I'm even saying that, but it's this street in New York where all the like counterfeit goods are.
Oh, I've no idea. Like
Yeah. We don't really have a place like that in London. Camden, maybe?
I think Camden. I'd say Camden's probably the closest you'll get. Yeah. But I think the counterfeit goods industry is just like really interesting because obviously I mentioned at the very start of the episode people turning to fakes because like real stuff is just expensive. Like for example, Chanel are selling classic flat bags for $8,000.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, that's disgusting amount of money.
Yeah.
Like people
who has that?
Like,
yeah.
To pay for bills, food, rent. Like who has that? So why would they not go and buy a fake?
Well, it's interesting because I was talking to one of my friend's mums. She's Italian, so maybe it's a little different, but was saying that basically things were not as expensive when she was like in her 20s and 30s. Like she could go out and like, you know, after like whilst working like a full-time job, obviously, but like she could
save up and
she could like buy a designer bag or like buy a pair of Manolo Blahniks or something like that. And she was saying today,
no way,
that's not a thing. No. Like you can't just sort of, you know, buy a Chanel bag.
No, like you're not. Like, if you are just buying a Chanel bag,
it's expensive, and it's like really. I don't even know who buy.
I have no idea. Like I actually don't know.
Yeah, and weirdly now I think about it, it's like tangent, but like most of the people I see wearing that kind of thing on social media actually get it gifted from the brands. Like I actually very rarely see people on socials having bought their own luxury bags.
That's so true. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought about it now.
It is crazy. I mean, the counterfeit goods like, the amount of counterfeit goods sold each year is between 1.7 trillion to 4.5 trillion.
Which is insane. But I mean, I guess we're probably...
And that value is probably not even, like, it's an estimate because obviously it's illegal.
So you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a huge industry in itself, which I think because it's illegal, there'll be so little information about garment workers' safety, etc., because that's not obviously going to be shared because it's just sold.
That's the thing that really scares me about it, I think, is it's like brands like Shein and stuff are pretty like unregulated anyway.
Yeah.
And can you imagine for brands that, like, it's not even a brand, for just like places creating things, there's just no rules, it's complete like Wild West. Like, I'm scared.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't think now I wouldn't buy a counterfeit now. I may be offended for the lols. I mean, actually saying that, I have 2 fake bags under my bed, which I forgot about that, which my aunt gave me, and I looked at them and I was like, I don't know what to do.
To be
with
fair,
this,
weirdly, I have a fair few fake items because my grandma, when she passed away, left loads of loads of fakes.
I love that.
But they're quite like high quality fakes.
Mine are not.
like she's left like quite a few silk scarves that are like incredibly good quality, but they just sort of are not.
Are they meant to be like Hermes? But they're not.
Yeah,
okay.
Or like Chanel, and like Prada. To be fair, I wear the Prada one all the time because it's really nice colours, and I still wear them. But like, to be honest, I wouldn't know how to tell you if they're fake or not because they're printed really well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and they've got rolled hems or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
like
so it looks good quality.
Yeah, they're great quality, but like, you know.
So what are your thoughts? Because I think the idea of dupes doesn't just go from designer; it also goes. I think it should absolutely include small businesses.
I don't even know if you can call that a dupe though. That's almost like stealing. It's just like
part of me doesn't care about fake designer stuff. I care about the small designers getting their stuff copied by Shein.
It's very similar to the way I feel about shoplifting actually, which is like I don't care if someone's shoplifting from Tesco's or Primark, but I do deeply care if someone's shoplifting from a small business, a charity, something like that. I think it's really just like rude and wrong.
It's immoral, but I think all of those are immoral. But
it's all like, wrong, but there's levels to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing if you're stealing some bread from Tesco because you like haven't been paid yet and you need to feed your kids. It's different than stealing like some earrings from an independent jeweler. Like, it's you know. And I feel like that's kind of how I feel about dupes. It's like if you're forgetting about the ethics of the garment workers and those making them. Steal from Chanel, I don't care. Don't steal from, like, you know, someone who's trying to launch their own small label.
We found a really, really good list of small businesses that have had their designs stolen by Shein. And one of them was actually someone I know, Veronica, who owns a really beautiful small business. Like, she hand makes underwear. So nice. We'll add, like, the link to her website below. And, like, it's literally, they just, like, copied the picture, like screenshot her picture and, like, got it made.
It's so weird. I saw a meme that was like, you haven't made it unless you've had a Shein knockoff of your design.
It's kind of true, though.
I think the thing is also that, like... Like, people don't know, like, people who scroll through Shein, they don't know that it's
no, they just think, oh, this is a really cute garment, but actually they don't know it's a small business, or they don't know it's like an independent designer.
There's a YouTuber I really like, Safia Nygaard, I don't know how to say her last name, Nygard, and she used to be like like a BuzzFeed person.
Okay, yeah.
And like I'm obsessed with her. And she's done a few videos where she'll like say in the beginning of the video, this is like unethical purchase, but she'll buy something from like Shein, something from like an Instagram ad, and then something from like the original designer, and do like a quality comparison kind of thing, and just sort of see if like as the viewer we can recognize what one's from where and all that kind of thing. And it's really interesting seeing
the quality of the original one's obviously significantly better.
Well, sometimes she'll like get the original one, obviously it's beautiful, then she'll get the like one that's used the same exact picture, so for example in this case that item from Shein, and it will just be like green rather than red, like, or like a size 10 rather than a size 12, like it will just be like that item, which I just find crazy.
Well, I think the problem is a lot of these big like Temu does the same. I know someone who recently got their tattoo work stolen.
by Temu.
Yeah. And like made stickers out of them and stuff like that.
See, I think it's really weird as well. One thing, okay, the thing that's really interesting about it is what I notice a lot from watching this YouTubers' videos is that it's the imagery that's stolen, not the actual item, because they don't ever really deliver an item that resembles the image. It's just like stealing the advert, which is still wrong, but like,
a lot
it's
of the time
even
it's
more
just because the quality is so rubbish that it just doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's almost, a lot of these small businesses, especially now, are having to work so hard to just make ends meet.
It's so sad so many have been closing down.
Yeah, like it's so sad. And then suddenly you see Shein selling the same item for £2, where people will buy that because they just don't understand, they don't know that that's from a small business.
Yeah. No,
it's mad. I mean, there's also like other scales. I mean, designers accusing each other of copying designs. I just think that's so funny.
I was talking earlier about how, I don't know if anybody else saw it, because it weirdly like didn't get picked up. I guess nobody cared, but Jeremy Scott posted on his Instagram story saying that Dior had stolen like this like winged white pleated kind of mini dress and had like completely ripped him off. And I just thought, like, yeah, it does look very similar and, like, fair enough. But when it comes to, like, designers ripping off other designers, to me it just, is just so clear that everyone's running out of ideas and we need, like, some fresh meat.
This is a funny one, like, Armani accusing Dolce & Gabbana of copying designs in 2009 because their catwalks appeared so similar. Like, that's just, like, get a new designer in.
This is what happens when all the creative directors have the same frame of reference.
They're all men. Like, it's a massive issue. But there was also another one where, I don't know if I actually wrote. Did I write it down? I'm sure. Oh, I did. A Colombian artist sued Dolce & Gabbana for copying an idea she had of like encrusted headphones, which such a niche item, but also like it's a small designer. Like I get small design, like small designers shouldn't have their designs ripped off. Like if you want to work with a designer, do a collaborative collection. Don't go around stealing their stuff. I think it's worse for big designers.
It's actually happened to a couple of my friends. I won't say their names, but a friend who did design at CSM had a pair of her shoes, like the design stolen by a big brand. And it was all over like all the fashion like blogs being like that the designer had stolen it. And and so it happens a lot to students as well, because I guess like a lot of people in fashion, especially for CSM, sit front row during the grad shows, whatever they're called, and so their ideas get stolen a lot by big brands, and there's nothing you can really do. Because with what money?
Well, also, like, intellectual property is really hard to copyright, and designs can be quite hard to copyright as well.
Because there's either 4 or 5 points of change, and as long as you change that many things, no one can actually do anything.
Yeah, so they might change, like, where that one little
button is.
Yeah, or, like, where they put the Diamante things on it. You know, like, it's really, I think being a creative is actually so difficult to protect your work. I think the only thing you can do is trademark it, but even then you're not really protected.
Yeah.
But I imagine, I didn't even think of that, but I can imagine small designers, especially because Graduate Fashion Week, all they have to do is look at the photos, look at the new fresh minds with fresh designs, and copy it.
There's also the classic thing that I've heard about like a lot. I'll try to find something for reference for this, but of designers coming with their portfolios and pitching for jobs, and then or having to creating creative briefs for brands as like part of the interview process, not getting the job, and then the brief being completely stolen. There's no shame. It's crazy.
I think it's even worse for big designers, like big household designers stealing from small businesses. Yeah, because Shein basically just uses they just scrape images off the internet.
Yeah,
using AI. Like someone's not actually sat there looking at it. They're just like scraping images. Whereas for a big designer, to be stealing designs, someone's actually thought that through.
Yeah,
which is embarrassing.
There was someone I was talking to. I need to remember who. Actually, no, they probably wouldn't want me to say that name anyway because of what I'm about to say. Who used to work for a fast fashion brand, and they'd get sent to go and look at small markets and things like that to find and harvest designs because of the fast turnaround. So they'd be sent out to basically.
How do they feel about that as their job?
They don't do that job anymore.
What, because of that? Because of they just didn't like the ethics of it.
Yeah. And also because it meant they could have no creativity, basically, because it was such a fast turnaround in So there was no opportunity for them to like
actually design anything.
Yeah, which is really sad. Something that I do think is cool that I do want to mention is Telfar, who does the really cool bags.
The like shopper totes with the big T in a circle on the front.
He gave a bunch of like authenticated bags to counterfeit sellers.
I just think that's such a good idea. Like,
I thought it was really, really fun. I thought that was.
But also, because how much were the sellers then selling them for?
I don't know, but I know the reason was he said he used to grow up walking down the street and would like buy the goods, or like wanted so bad to like have that real thing, and so he said it felt like a really nice full circle moment to be able to like give these authenticated bags, and I don't think they were still sold at like a.
But this is really
price.
nice. It's like for someone who really wanted one of those items, they get surprised with a genuine item. It's like
it's giving back to the community in a way.
Yeah, like a gift. It's a gift, isn't it? I think that's a really nice thing to do.
And it's also
a power move, because it's not shutting down the counterfeits. It's going, these counterfeits exist because someone wants to be part of that, and they want to be part of.
Exactly.
They want to experience that, and if they can't, it's an alternative, whether it's ethical or not, obviously.
Yeah. And from what I understood, like having grown up in that area, he had like understanding of like why these sellers were selling the counterfeit goods, in terms of like they needed a job, they needed money, like,
of course,
and
that's, I'm never mad at the people who are selling the counterfeit goods.
Right,
like, because at the end of the day, like, if they have no other opportunities to sell stuff, they're just doing their thing. Like, I think about, again, like in Hong Kong, market stall owners, they're just trying to make a living.
It's hard out there.
Like they really are just trying to make a living. So if it's a fake bag that sells, c'est la vie. But also, at that level, you're never going to have an ethically made item, and that's the reality.
And also, I was going to say, I'm not going to necessarily have a good quality item, but I do actually disagree with that. I think you can actually get some really great quality counterfeit things, because I do think that a lot of like luxury things are also like, they meet in the middle, really, don't they? I don't
think a lot of our luxury is that well made. I think especially as of recent, I think if you go before the 2000s, amazing.
Quality's declined so much.
Would you buy a counterfeit item now as an adult?
I'm trying to think about like what I'd buy if I was buying a counterfeit item. No, because actually, one, it's really hard to like actually buy a counterfeit good that, like, I wouldn't buy one unless it was like a really good one. And like to do that is really hard. Like, to find a good one. And then by the time I put all the time and energy into finding a fake one, I'd rather just buy a real one. Plus, like, in terms of ethics and like morals behind it, I just don't think so.
It doesn't sit right with you.
It doesn't sit right with me, and I feel like it's like it's so easy to just not, like, of all the things, like this is like very easy to just like choose not to do. Because there was the Walmart Birkin. I feel like we have to kind of talk about that, because that's an interesting dupe, because it's from a company who has, like, I mean, it's not obviously not sustainable or ethical, the supply chain of Walmart, but like it's got a moderated supply chain. It's not like counterfeit in the way that it's like made from somewhere completely separate.
Like, Walmart went out and went, let's make a fake Birkin bag for our shoppers.
And so it's a little bit, I feel like it's a little bit different.
It'd be like H&M going out and doing it. Well, what's the equivalent of Walmart?
TK
Marks and Spencer's.
Is that? I don't know.
I don't know. I think, anyway. Because I thought Walmart's a supermarket.
No, I think it is, which is why maybe it is like M&S. I thought that was kind of weird.
We actually watched some TikTok unboxings, and we were both really engrossed in them.
We got like stuck
we went like, what?
In the hall.
Because unboxing, they come with a dust bag, a lock, a shoulder strap.
It's a luxury experience.
It kind of was a luxury experience. Okay, granted, it was all like covered in plastic, so kind of not luxury, but the fact it came with all of that, it was $80, which I still think is actually like a decent amount of money.
It's real leather.
It was real leather. I would say it honestly looks the same. The finishes, though, like if you looked closely, the finishes don't look super expensive.
But I'm like,
I mean,
it looks very similar.
Like,
though.
There was pictures of them side by side in this Glamour article, which we'll link. Honestly, you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell.
But I wonder, like, and I mean, before, when I first saw that, I was like, why are people doing that? Like, just buy like a different bag. But now I'm kind of like, you know what? Who cares? Like, the Birkin to me, like, is a trashy bag anyway. I think it's really...
At, like, over 10 grand as well.
Yeah, I think it really... I know it's actually a very good investment because they only gain value. And
I'm sorry, but if you can spend 10 grand on the bag...
Buy some stocks.
Like, put your money in stocks and shares and, like, green energy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But, one thing I did learn about Birkins actually is that those ones that do gain value are really like, they're not the ones you have to like become friends with like one of the people in the shop and like join a wait list and like a long process.
The whole ordeal of how to shop at Hermes I think is really difficult, and it's really like not a nice experience, a lot of people say.
Yeah, everyone says it's really mean.
Like, also, what's the point then?
Yeah, but I don't find them to be particularly, to me it's a no of that bag aesthetically, and so I kind of just think like I just don't care.
But I just thought it was quite funny. It did blow up on TikTok, and I think
people got pretty heated about it though. So people were really angry. I don't quite understand why people were so angry about that specifically. I think it was a lot of people who had the real authentic Birkins were sort of feeling annoyed because they're like, now you're going to be the same as me and I don't want you to have my elite person's product. That's what I'm assuming the noise was about.
Also probably that such a big brand got away with copying.
Such a big brand.
Like, Walmart is massive in America. The fact they got away with copying one of the most... Well, it's one of the most iconic bag designs. That and the classic Chanel flap are the most iconic bag designs. Like, how did they get away with that legally? It's giving... Oh my God, it's giving...
Secret collaboration.
No, it's giving Collin the Caterpillar and like Lidl's or Aldi's.
Oh my God, wait! I do buy counterfeits because I buy from Aldi. I get my Lotus Biscoff from them.
It's not Lotus Biscoff, Rosie. It'll be like, but Lotus Biscott.
That's the only place I will forever buy dupes and counterfeits if it's from Aldi.
Do you remember the like lawsuit between Collin and Cuthbert?
Not Cuthbert. I do love Aldi though. That's actually one example of like dupes that I've never thought about in terms of food before. But
it's like a funny one though, because it's like even the packaging is the same. They just like change one word on the name. Like, you know what? The Aldi marketing and like product design department must have absolute like
so
shits and gigs about how fun that is to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also quite bad. I do like.
But why is it bad? It's cheaper.
You don't need to make it cool. Like, it's a joke. They called it Cuthbert because it starts with a C.
Yeah,
like Collin. No, that's just ridiculous.
I don't know. I love Aldi.
Sorry, I'll always be a Collin fan.
I'm very specific about the products I buy in there because it can be quite like...
Also, I don't know if that's not something. Anyway.
Well, supermarkets and sustainability, I think that's like a whole other separate conversation.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can really police it.
Rosie does actually buy counterfeit goods.
Yeah, I do. I do buy counterfeit goods and I'm proud of it.
Next time, I hope you come with a Cuthbert.
He needs the Merkin, whatever it's called. Merkin when you can have a Cuthbert.
Oh no, I don't know. Like, I feel like the counterfeit world really goes like across all things. It's not just clothing, because there's loads
Makeup
of perfumes
as well. Yeah.
Like, I keep getting ads on my personal account of like perfume companies saying that theirs is exactly the same as this whatever branded perfume, and it's like a third of the price. I mean, I don't wear perfume, so to me this is silly, but
concept though.
But also like the concept of a dupe again, and they like actually name the perfumes and stuff.
Okay, I know what I feel. I am not against dupes, given the circumstance, but I am against counterfeit goods because I think they're different.
Okay.
Counterfeit goods always bad. Dupes, depending on the circumstance, I'm not particularly bothered by.
Yeah, okay, I would agree. Like, I think, yeah, like Cuthbert's not that deep.
Yeah, like I don't feel particularly weird about the Walmart Birkin, but like I do feel weird about like buying street designers stuff.
Fake street designers for the ethics.
Yeah, for the ethics.
Yeah, that's
and also
fair.
just like going back to that time when I was in Dubai, like that place was really weird. I did not like it. It felt like the black market. It was.
Well, it kind of is, isn't it?
It is the black market,
goods
and
is
like
technically the black market.
there was a lot of people in there. It was really huge. It was multi-story.
It's impressive. It's impressive they get away with it.
Yeah, well, there's also like police that walk around it, and so if you get caught by the people who like invite you in to get the really high quality designer bags, you actually get in trouble. So like there's a boundary to what's acceptable.
I suppose because they are probably copied like for like, whereas
the other ones are just like knockoffs.
Yeah, like real bad knockoffs. Like,
Yeah.
it's so obvious they're not legit that it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, but I didn't. That felt like quite a real experience. It wasn't scary or anything at all, but it was like
eye-opening.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose because I grew up like going to Hong Kong to visit family, we always go to markets. So for me, it's not even weird.
Yeah. I guess for me, like we drove out into the middle of the desert.
It's really in the middle of the desert.
It's like in the desert because so much of Dubai, like as soon as you drive out of the main
desert.
city, you just like get into the desert. So you kind of just like drive along the motorway into the desert, and then it's just sort of like that.
That's really weird. That is really weird.
Yeah, it's just a bit odd.
It doesn't feel like a nice experience.
No, it was interesting though.
I think it's just, yeah. I do think dupes is one of those things that for big designers, they're making enough money.
Yeah.
But like I hate it when big designers stealing from small brands, ick. Shein and these fast fashion brands stealing from small designers, ick. Street vendors, it's not an ick from the actual vendors, it's an ick for the people who make it. And if you choose to buy designer, a fake or counterfeit.
You're right though, like I know we keep going around in a circle, but you're right about the recession thing. It will be interesting to see how much more profit the counterfeit market starts making now we're going into recession.
This is so true. I wonder also if that means the second-hand market will boom though.
Yeah, charity shops, get ready.
Get ready, start using entropy and authenticate your goods.
Yeah.
Because it's also a scam and it's unethical to sell fake goods at a high value point, especially for charity.
Sub point before we end the episode that I think Burberry is a really great example of a brand who like does this funny balancing between like they have so many fake, there's so much fake Burberry. Like a big part of my 16 to 18-year-old years was just like wearing fake Burberry.
Iconic.
But like on purposely it being fake. It was like sort of the thing was like that it's fake but it's Y2K. Like it's like a thing.
Yes, like it's always cool to be wearing fake in that Y2K vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's, the thing. And I think Burberry's a really interesting brand because they have probably, I would maybe say, as a designer label, the most fakes
that is Chanel
coming from them. Because like Burberry's got this weird thing where it's like a very high-end luxury, but also football hooligans wear it. Like, and so
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I feel like we can't talk about like fakes without like a little shout out to Burberry.
To Burbs.
Yeah.
To Burbs. So on that note, what are your thoughts on fakes, counterfeits? So you team Cuthbert, team Collin?
Let us know. And also, I hope that this will be on YouTube. We've been trying so hard, you guys. We've been really trying. So hopefully this one will be on there, and hopefully you can see us waving at you and saying thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, and rate us.